Can TV's LOL Chicago, where you're seeing some of Chicago's best and brightest comedic stars on this stage. A big round of applause for your host this evening, Marz Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? How we doing? Good? Good? Excellent, excellent. Thank you all for coming out to Can TV's LOL Chicago. We have some of the finest comedians in Chicago appearing tonight on this stage for you. So get your laughing belts, loosen them up a little bit, because we don't want any belts broken out there, right? Right? Cool, cool. So I hope you like this outfit that I'm wearing. Thank you. That's what you need right there. She's like, you know I like it. Oh, you looking good. You know I like it. Yeah, I got here today, and this guy held the door for me, and he was like, whoa, you looking as good as Black Church on Sunday. I was like, thank you, thank you. Look better than Farrakhan or look like Farrakhan? Because he might be insulted by that. I'm not. No. I've actually dressed like this since kindergarten. Yeah, my class picture in kindergarten. I had glasses on, I had a turtleneck on, and a smoker's jacket. Yeah, I look like a teacher in that class. I look like a college professor. I wish I was as smart as that picture made me look, but I wasn't. I'm not. Wasn't and am not. I went to a religious school growing up for a little bit of time, and when I say I wasn't smart, the only thing I learned at that school was to be an atheist. That was it. No, but one thing I did learn as a kid, because I always had this thought in my head, I was like, we all know that song, I've Been Working on the Railroad, right? Yeah, I was like, is there a version of I've Been Working on the Railroad in Chinese? Because think about it, the Chinese built the railroads in this country. Yeah, they did. I looked it up. From 1860 to 1869, Chinese immigrants broke records laying train tracks across the United States connecting the East Coast to the West Coast. Yeah. And the original published version of the song I've Been Working on the Railroad came out in 1894 as a Negro minstrel, which means there were black people out there laying the tracks too. And they were out there like, I've been working on the railroad. And the Chinese were like, no, we are working on the railroad. You are too busy out here singing. They was like, whatever, man. My song gonna drop. You still gonna be working on this railroad, and I'm gonna be traveling the country on it. Yeah, so we're going to have a fun show. We got a lot of great comics on this lineup for you guys. So I'm going to introduce your first comedian and give him a big round of applause. You can see him all over Chicago. He's one of my favorites out there right now, and I give him a lot of stuff, and I talk about how much I hate him. But this is television, so I'll save my hate for after the show. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the very funny Tim Smith.
He didn't even have to mention that he hated me. He could have just stuck with the niceties, but he didn't. Thanks, Marz. You tried your best. My name is Tim Smith. You heard that correctly. That name sucks. Try harder, Mom and Dad. That's brutal. I was always jealous of people that had names where you're like, ooh, what's that mean? What does that mean, your native language or tongue or whatever? Tim Smith just loosely translates to white person. That's it. Tim Smith sounds like a name you'd make up right off the top of your head. Do you know what I mean? When you're in a tight spot, you got to think of something quick. Halfway through a lap dance, a stripper's trying to start a conversation with you. She's like, what's your name? It's Tim Smith? She's like, that sounds made up. I'm like, oh, does it, cinnamon? Who are you to judge, sweetheart? I've never understood strippers' names, though, because you go to a strip club for a very obvious reason. You go there to get horny. They almost exclusively name themselves after things that make you hungry. Every time. They're getting bold with it now. They used to come up and just be like, hey, my name's Candy. Now they walk right up to your face my name's Butterfinger Blast. You're like, I don't know, not even horny anymore. Just want a little something sugary in my mouth, you know? A little something sweet. But you can't say that to a stripper. 'Cause then they think you're flirting with them. They're like, oh, you want something sweet in your mouth? But what about this sweet, sweet pussy? I'm like, ugh, no, God. That's not what I meant at all. Also, sweet, come on. I would bet that pussy is savory at best. Come on. That pussy hadn't been sweet in years, guys. Come on. Now your stepdad took care of that. You can't get offended. I'm allowed to say that joke, guys. My stepdad's a stripper. It's cool. It's fine. A few people are looking at me right now like, how dare you? No, I make it sound like I go to strip clubs all the time. I don't. I've been like 3 times in my life. They're a bummer every time. Like, nothing good ever comes from going to a strip club. Ever. No one's ever woken up in the morning after a night at the strip club like, I'm glad I went. Like, that was a good use of my time and money. Usually wake up like, shit. Last time I left the strip club, I got a DWI, which is not cool. Not bragging about that. It is true. That was a dark time in my life. There was a silver lining for me, though, because I realized something about myself. I realized that I'm not one of those assholes that, like, tries to fight the cop about it. You know what I mean? One of those idiots where you get pulled over and you're like, this is bullshit. This is bull. What are you arresting me for? I've only had, like, 2 beers. Why don't you go solve a real crime, you piece of shit? Like, I vaguely remember him approaching my window, and I rolled it down, and I was like, you got me. Like, you're doing a bang-up job tonight, sir. That is just quality police work, what you're doing. He didn't like that at all. He cuffed me, and he's bringing me over to his car. This is the only resistance I gave him the whole time. I was just like, you're not getting like a field sobriety test? And he was nice about it. He, like, grabbed me by my shoulders and turned me around, and he goes, is it necessary? I was like, no. No, it's not. I was in jail for 16 hours. I don't know if anybody's been to jail. I'm not the kind of gal that's cut out for jail. I don't do well there. I don't know if you saw my tush walking up, but it's not bad. But I was in there for 16 hours, and it was terrifying. Like, I was trying to think of, like, all the things that I had heard about jail to, like, try to survive. Because I was in there, they put me in an orange jumpsuit and slippers, and they're, like, bringing me over to general population. I'm like, okay, what do I do right now? And I'd seen some stuff, and I'm like, okay, you just find the biggest guy in there, and you beat the shit out of him. Right when you walk in, just beat the shit out of him. I was like, okay. And I'm walking in, and the cell door slid open. I was like, okay, so I'm not going to do that at all. What am I going to do here? So I just kind of, like, ran over and, like, slinked down in the corner, trying to keep a low profile. I was in there for 1 minute. A guy came and sat right next to me, like his thigh was touching my thigh. I was like, I'm just not even going to look over and do anything. Then I feel his lips on my ear. Not lying at all. And he goes, you don't look like you belong in here. I was like, I know. I know that. Like 5 minutes later, I got a call like, Smith, you're out. My girlfriend bailed me out. 10:30 on a Sunday morning. That was like the best time of my life. Sunday morning. I'm sure it was a proud moment in her life, too. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, ladies, can't do brunch. Tim's in jail. We've been together for 7 years after that. Because if a girl bails you out of jail, you owe her at least a decade. Like, you gotta... That's a... I can't believe she wasn't just like, okay, fuck, like, bye, forever. But I've realized something about myself, like the kind of, I don't know. It's a good relationship. It's one of those, it's not one where you break up a bunch of times and you, like, talk a bunch of shit to your friends when you break up. But then when you get back together, you're like, hey, don't mention any of the shit that I said when we were broken up. I like being in it. It makes life easier. It simplifies everything. I got somebody that likes me back. And it makes me, like, think about, like, relationships I was in where it didn't make any sense, or I just wasn't equipped to handle them. I dated a girl that was 15 years older than me at one point. And oh, I know. Trust me. I said that a lot during the relationship. I was like, ooh, what am I doing right now? But I caught her at a time in her life where like aging started to kick in. Like people age differently. Some people get gray hair. Some people put on weight. Her weapon of choice was growing a mustache. And I have no problem with the mustache. Shit happens. We're all animals. I have a problem with her not noticing the mustache. Because now it's on me. Like I have to let her know. And I don't know how to do that. It's not like if somebody gains weight in a relationship, that one's easy. You can just be like, hey, you know what we should do together? Like both of us? Why don't we just get back into the gym, huh? We'll start eating better, lose a little weight. We could both use it. Boom, problem solved. I can't use that strategy. Can't be like, hey, you know what we should do together? Let's just shave your mustache. All right, thank you guys. I'm Tim Smith.
One more big round of applause for Tim Smith. Thank you, Tim. I do believe you've made a few enemies in here tonight. A few more. Tim Smith is a good name. What's your name? Why you keep chatting me up? Oh yeah, now it's like, huh?
My name Lola.
Look, you look and sound like a Lola. Lola's one of those tough, I will beat your ass names. You're not messing with a Lola. A Bridget, sure. A Gretchen, okay. Lola. Lola's one of those names of somebody that works at the DMV and it's like, next! Come on down, get your stuff from Lola.
I'm a stripper.
A stripper named Lola? Tim said they have to have like candy names. Savory at best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep this moving right along. Your next comedian coming to the stage, she is a rising star. She is only 19. She goes to Columbia College. I've had the pleasure of working with her a few times, booking her on a couple of shows. You can also see her at the Laugh Factory around Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Asha Ward.
Hi. I've been having some trouble sleeping, and I think it's because my pillows are too thin, but I keep forgetting to buy things that matter. So I turn on the TV to help me fall asleep, and it's crazy how letting the TV play while you're sleeping can affect you when you wake up. Like, one day I fell asleep watching an infomercial, and I woke up wanting to buy a vacuum cleaner. Another day, I fell asleep watching a TED Talk, and I woke up smarter, I think. And this one time it was crazy. I fell asleep watching a Tyler Perry movie, and when I woke up I was black. So I've been dealing with that. I am from Maryland. I moved to Chicago last year for school. I go to Columbia, and I love living in the city because now none of my white friends can take me hiking. White people love hiking, and I don't get it. Oh my God, Asha, let's walk up that hill. It'll be fun. Oh my God, Asha, why are you breathing so heavy? Oh my God, Asha, why are you throwing up? Oh my God, Asha, where's your pulse? I feel like if hiking was fun, maybe the Native Americans would have called it the Trail of Happiness. I have a lot of white friends because I go to Columbia, and it's definitely interesting. There are some cultural differences, like I'm really into R&B, and they're really into cocaine. I thought it was a myth, but it really is not. I was walking home one day with a friend, and we ran into another one of our friends. And the girl we ran into was like, "Oh my God, you guys, I'm so coked up." And then the girl I was with goes, "Oh my God, you bitch, you did coke without me?" This was 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. White people will do cocaine before McDonald's starts serving lunch. And, at this point, I don't know what's worse. Let's go hiking at 6 a.m., white people, or let's do some lines in time for a McMuffin, white people. Either way, they're going to end up doing something weird, like go and try to grab a snake without the proper supervision. I'm not into that. I recently stopped smoking weed, and I've had the motivation to do so much more edibles. Yeah. I didn't cut all the way out. I just cut back because the amount of weed I was smoking was making me stupid. Like, my friend was telling me about her body dysmorphia, and I was like, oh, lucky. You could rob a bank with that. Apparently, body dysmorphia is not what it sounds like. It's like when you're, like, not confident in your body or something. And I thought she was telling me she was a shapeshifter. Yeah. I am so happy that it's fall now. I really hate the summer. Summer makes me antsy. The heat makes me antsy. Like last summer, I almost broke open the window of a parked car because I thought there was a dog stuck inside. It wasn't a dog, so a close one. It was just a baby wearing a fur coat. Does anyone know what they want to be for Halloween? Do you dress up? Oh, that's cool. Yeah?
I want to be
A ninja? Oh, that's cool. When I was younger, my mom used to let me dress up as anything I wanted for Halloween. And, one year I was like, I'm going to be Hannah Montana. Everyone thought I was RuPaul. At least that was better than the time I dressed up as Steve Jobs. Everyone thought I was Rick Ross in a turtleneck. My mom used to also, there were no parental controls on the TV ever, so I could watch whatever I wanted. And my favorite thing to watch growing up was prison documentaries. So naturally, every book I owned was hollowed out. I would make Kool-Aid in the toilet for no reason. And my insults were always way too intense for the other kids at school. They'd say things like, your hair's silly. And I would respond with, if you say that again, I will fuck you in the ass like you're my bitch. Thank you.
Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, for Asha Ward. Woo! 19 years old, right? Okay. All right, Lola. All right. We all right over here on this side, too? Dartmouth? She's like, that fuck you in the ass joke. I didn't like that one too much. Okay. All right. It's adult comedy in here. All right. Your next comedian coming to the stage, very funny man. He performs all over the Midwest. I had the pleasure of meeting him before. All of these comics you're going to see, I've seen before. So, hey, it's on me. These people are funny. They are all funny coming up here on this stage. This guy coming to the stage, he also performs at the Annoyance Theater here in Chicago. Big round of applause, Jason Earl, folks.
Oh, LOL, how we feeling tonight? Make some noise in here. You guys doing all right? Good to see you guys. Legally obligated to tell you folks in the front row, off the break, you are in the splash zone. Yeah, I might throw up on you, okay? Yeah. I like to drink a lot. I drink a lot of whiskey gingers because you are what you drink. Am I right? My buddy came to town the other day. He's a musician, so he's got slightly more money than a comic, right? And he comes to town, and he was being kind of snooty with his loot, though, Like, it was really bothering me. He was being snooty with his loot. Like, he came up to me. He was like, hey, folks, you want a nice Kentucky bourbon? So yeah, that's whiskey, right? Throw it in my face hole. Let's do this thing, right? So he goes to the bar. He gets 3 fingers of the nicest Kentucky bourbon the bar has to offer in these antique crystal whiskey glasses, right? Comes up to me, hands me mine. He's like, cheers, bro. This is going to be so nice. And we tap glasses, and he took a tiny little sip of his, and boom, I shot all 3 fingers of the really nice whiskey, you guys, and he yelled at me. Yeah, can you believe that shit? He yelled at me. He was like, dude, that's sipping whiskey. I don't know where it came from, y'all, but all my Irish heritage just spewed forth in one moment. I looked him dead in his eyes, and I was like, but you only gave me 1 fucking sip. I'm going to need 2 or 3 more of those. I did that joke at a show one time, you guys, and this dude came up to me after the show, and he was like, listen, brother, I'm from Kentucky, and you drink bourbon any goddamn way you want to. I was like, holy shit, you're my new dad. You're my dad now. You get a Bass Pro Shop card on Father's Day, Dad. That's what you get. That's what you get. Yeah, I do drink a lot. Gets me in a lot of predicaments. Yeah, do you guys, anybody in here recently injured themselves while drunk? Anybody? Yeah? Yeah? She said yeah. Yeah, it happens. I call it getting the booze boo-boos, right? So you fall down when you're drunk. Yeah, it's a good time. Apparently, like last summer, I guess was the worst case of the booze boo-boos I ever got. Apparently, I got home from a party, and I was blacked out drunk, and I don't remember this, but I guess I tripped, and I fell through my glass coffee table. Yeah, I didn't just fall through it. I Chris Farley'd through that shit, all right? Mow, it exploded, right? But like I said, I was blacked out, so I didn't remember any of it, right? So I wake up in my bed. Everything's normal. But I knew, you guys. I knew from all the bloody toilet paper and masking tape around my hand that it had been a naughty time. So I'm looking at my busted paw, and I'm like, what the fuck, man, what happened last night? Was I boxing a man made out of glass? So I walk out in the hallway, and I look down my hallway, and there's my poor roommate, and he's cleaning up all the glass on the ground, right? And there's splinters of wood everywhere. Splinters of wood. Not like chunks of wood, splinters. Like I shot the table with a fucking cannon, all right? Like I yelled, cannonball, before I jumped through it, okay? So I look at my roommate, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at my hand, I'm looking at him, and he's giving me the dad look. You know the dad look, right? Where it's like, I'm so disappointed I can't even talk to you right now. You know the dad look? And he's giving me that, and I'm looking at him, and I had an epiphany right then and there, you guys. Right then and there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit drinking. Yeah, I'm going to quit drinking. And I thought, nah, I'll probably stop buying glass shit. That's a much better plan, you know? Who are we kidding? The drinking's going to continue. Let's baby-proof this motherfucker. Foam it up. Make everything out of Irish oak. My drunk ass will bounce off of it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I thought it was funny like you guys thought it was funny. My roommate, he did not think that shit was funny. He did not think it was funny at all. He was like, Jason, it's not funny. You could have died. He doesn't really sound like that. I just make him sound like that. Jason, it's not funny. You could have died. And I was like, oh, shit. I guess I could have died. That's messed up, right? Then I had a couple beers in me, and I was like, ha ha! I could have died. Yeah, ain't a coffee table made today that can take out Jason Earl folks, ladies and gentlemen. I see you coming, IKEA. I ain't fucking scared, IKEA. I got off work the other day. I took an Irish shower, which means I just drank until I forgot I was dirty. My name's Jason Earl, folks. You guys have a lot of fun. Peace.
Keep it going for Jason Earl, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, nice. Woo, yeah. Good. We good over here? We still do. She's still like, all right. We gotta get some alcohol in here, right? Yeah, we all going out drinking after this? Jason's stories make me want to drink more than I normally do. That's about it. You understand me? If anybody understood me, Lola, it was you. You understand Jason too? There's a meeting for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, this man I have known for years. We used to do improv here in Chicago together in a group called We Be Negroes. Yeah, he's been out in LA. He is the only comedian to have been on Nickelodeon and the Playboy Channel. Big round of applause for Ronnie Ray.
They've been slow with the music all night. I'm like, start this day. Make me feel like I'm somebody, you know? Is this on? Oh, yeah. I like y'all. I've been watching y'all in the back. Y'all doing your job. Y'all laughing. It's a comedy show and y'all laughing. That's great. One more time for yourself. Yes. I've been doing comedy a long time, and a lot of times they don't be laughing. How you come to a comedy show and not laugh? You know what I'm saying? Come to a comedy show and not laugh? That's like going to an orgy and not wanting to fuck nobody. Like, it's crazy. Yo, welcome to the orgy, man. I got 3 girls in the back. Man, I don't want that shit. Give me some strawberry lemonade in this bitch. I can't. I said I got 3 girls. I said I want some strawberry lemonade. Make it happen. Comedy, man. I hate it, dog. I hate this shit, man. You see me smiling? I've been doing it that long. I smile because I have to. Inside, I'm crying like a mother. I'm butt naked in the bathtub crying right now. No water in that bathtub either. It's just dark in there. I'm thinking about my whole life. I should have married that girl, had that baby, went to college or something. Hate it, man. Worst thing about it to me is being the only comic in my circle of friends. Y'all ain't never experienced this? You comics right in the front, I know y'all. I hate it, man. It's not like they disrespect me at all. They trying to help me. They trying to help me too much. I got one friend, I can't say nothing slightly funny to him. He tell me to write it down. And it'd be cool, like, hey man, that's funny. Write that down. Nah, he get excited shit. Oh, that's funny. Write down, man, write down. We riding the other day, I'm like, hey man, look, man, my mom want to go to the store, get another gallon of milk. We got 2 gallons of milk at home. That's 3 gallons of milk. 3 gallons of milk. Man, write that shit down, write down. It gotta be funny to me first before I write anything down. Funny to you first. Man, write that down too, write down. Get out my damn car. Are you just gonna leave me outside? You gonna leave me? Man, write that down too, write down. My friends are whack, man. Moved back here from LA, man, after being out there for a long time. Moved back to help out with family. You know what I mean? So I'm back in the old neighborhood I grew up in. All my friends are still there. You know what I mean? Anybody got those friends from high school? You know what I mean? Y'all want to sit back and reminisce all the time, talk about the good old days all the time. My friends don't do that. My friends want to talk about all the bad shit that happened, And their favorite phrase is remember that time. Remember that time. When I first got back, oh, Ronnie, you back? Oh, yeah. Remember that time, man? Remember that time? You got hit in the jaw? You couldn't talk for 2 weeks. Remember that shit? Oh, remember that time, man? Remember that time? Your uncle died? We in the back of that funeral crying like, man, fuck cancer. Remember that shit? That was a good day, man. Oh, remember that time, man? Remember that time? You fucked that bucktooth bitch? And she gave you crabs. Remember that shit? Like, remember that time I moved to get the fuck away from that star? Back in the hood, man. Still got a nickname. Anybody in the crowd got a nickname? Round of applause. What you got about the clap? I know him. What's your real name first? Keith. Keith, what's your nickname? Spirit. See, we kind of in the same lane. It don't sound nothing like your damn real name. Keith and Spirit. My name's Ronnie Ray, man. My nickname is Bougie. I don't know how you got that from that. The worst part about being bougie, I can't even spell this shit. I'm 44 years old. Can't even spell it. B-O-U-G, that's all I know. I got a friend with the smoothest real name ever, but he don't like it. He's the smoothest real name. His real name is Latrell Swan. Woo-hoo! That's pimping. You know what I'm saying? You be blind in a wheelchair and get girls with that name. You know what I mean? He don't like Latrell Swan. He like his nickname. You know what his nickname is? Porch Monkey. He like Porch Monkey. Instead of Latrell Swan. I call him Latrell by accident. He got mad. Hey, Latrell, tell oh, man, for real? For real? This what we doing, Boochie? Huh? We call each other by our real name today? How many times I gotta tell you, man? It is not Latrell. It's Porch Monkey. You all right, Porch Monkey, don't get that name, man, huh? Get it right next time, man. Porch Monkey. P-O-R, Chamonkey, motherfucker. Like, I get it right next time, Chamonkey. I'm sorry. She explained it to her. That's funny. That's the best part of the night because he didn't spell it all the way. Y'all miss Obama yet? Okay. Yeah, throw it in there just to see, you know what I mean? I don't hate Trump, but I just didn't vote for him. I didn't. I voted for Obama twice, both times. The first time really wasn't my conception, you know what I mean? My grandmother really made me do it. I wanted to do it, but she really made me do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Lola? It's real. I'm paying attention. She happy. He knew my name. My grandmother made me do it. You know what I mean? She saw him at a rally here in Chicago. I was living in L.A. She called me at a rally, and she kept calling me every day telling me to vote for him. She met him in March 08. The election was November 08. Every day from March to November. My grandma was calling me, telling me to vote for him. Every day from March to November, telling me to vote for him. She didn't call me that much to vote for somebody since Ruben Studdard was on American Idol. You better vote for Ruben. No, Clay Edgar can sing his ass off. He got competition. Just a minute. I'm gonna say this. Yeah. My friend's like, man, Obama gay because he okayed the gay marriage. He ain't gay. Got Michelle. Come on. Michelle bad. You know what I'm saying? And I know they doing it too. You know what I'm saying? You ever see a couple and you know they doing it? You really don't know them, but you like, yeah, they doing it. You know what I mean? I saw him at the concert or whatever. He was had the band at the White House. And he had the mic. He jumped on the mic with B.B. King. And they be like, sweet home, Chicago. Drop the mic. Grab Michelle. I had it on DVR. I put it on pause. And he walking out like, yeah. They going to fuck in the White House. They going. Then I kept it on pause too long. My imagination went everywhere. Then I said to myself, you know what? I don't think Barack was the first person to hit that. Now, a lot of people get nervous when I say that. No disrespect to Michelle, but come on now. Every woman in here done gave it to a guy that didn't deserve it. Michelle ain't exempt. You know what I'm saying? She ain't exempt. She ain't go to the boyfriend slot machine and win a president the first time she played it. She picked some loser. She like, Jane, the president, yeah! Mama, pack your bag, we going to the White House. She met some loser. He wasn't shit then, he ain't shit now. Some old dude, about in his late 50s, living in his grandmama's basement. Walk around all day with dress socks and robe on all day. Over there on 83rd and Stony Island or some shit. And his name is Steve. Steve walk around, he like, you know Steve. Steve walk around with a depressed look all day until Michelle's on TV. His nephew be watching TV. Uncle Steve! Uncle Steve! Shell on TV again! He come out that basement like, oh yeah, Shell on TV again, y'all, yeah! Remember that time, y'all? Remember that time? Me and Shell was in that garage in that Cutlass. She said she'd do anything for them new edition tickets. My name's Ronnie Ray.
Ronnie Ray. Oh, remember that time. Remember that time. Oh, that's good. That boy from money. Woo! Okay, we are going to keep this show moving right along. We have two more comedians coming up here on stage for you guys. Just did a show with this guy out in the suburbs, out in Naperville. Very funny man. He was a finalist for the Andy Kaufman Award. He was also on TBS Just for Laughs. Big round of applause for the very funny Joe Fernandez.
One more time for Marz, all the comics you've seen so far. Give them a round of applause, right? Who was the guy who wanted to be a ninja for Halloween? Where was that? Okay. That's just so generic. Just like, what are you going as for Halloween? A lantern. That's it. You know, I wish you'd said sexy ninja and you were like, I got the fishnet stockings. I'm ready to go. You know, it's funny. Last year, my buddies and I, for Halloween, we went to a haunted house, which is weird because we're not in high school or dating. Went to a haunted house. On the way back, at the toll booth, there's a state trooper because they were looking for drunk drivers. And the state trooper's like, hey, guys, how's it going? We're like, good. She's like, where are you coming from? We were like, haunted house. And she was like, oh, how was it? And we were like, what? Scary? I don't know. What? Is that a sobriety test if we enjoyed a haunted house? Like, so she's like, well, some of you guys aren't wearing your seatbelts. You need to pull over here. You may be in trouble. So we pull over. She like runs our licenses, goes back to toll booth, runs our licenses, goes back to toll booth. Every time she comes back to the car, you can see it slowly wash over her face like, oh, these are legitimately 5 sober 30-year-olds who went to a haunted house tonight. That wasn't a bad drunken lie. They're telling the truth. Like the final time she came back to the car, she's like, do you guys want one for the road? Like, I'm writing you a ticket for being a Poindexter. Like, hang out with my friends. They have guns at least. They're cool, you know. You may notice my name is Joe Fernandez. That means that I am technically diversity. Hola, como esta, mi lamo Joe. I am half Cuban, but I act white because it makes life easier. That joke is based on the news. I watch it and I'm like, okay, stay out of the sun. Keep looking Mediterranean. Police don't care if you're Greek. It is funny because after shows, a lot of times people come up to me and be like, all right, your last name's Fernandez, but you're not really Latino. Which I feel like is their way of being like, all right, your last name's Fernandez, but I'm racist. How could you possibly be Latino? You're not wearing a flannel that's buttoned only at the top button? What? I've seen Gangland starring the Latin Kings. You behave nothing like them. Stab me and steal my car so I understand. You know, it's like, you know, he laughed too hard at that. He gets emails weekly about that. Okay, yeah. It's cool, though. A couple years ago, good year for Cubans, because Fidel Castro, he gone. And after Castro expired, I called my dad, and I was like, Papa, which is Cuban for dad. I was like, Papa, how do you feel now that Castro's gone? He's like, well, I got mixed feelings, you know, because I'm glad that Castro's gone, but I'm sad that my parents didn't get to see it happen, which means that Castro's death is the Cuban equivalent of the Cubs winning the World Series. It's like, this one's for you, mommy, eat papi. You know, it's not how my dad sounds, but I feel like your only frame of reference for Cubans is baseball and Scarface, so just wanted you to feel comfortable. I like my dad, although if I can get real for roughly 3 to 5 seconds, my dad, a year ago, had a surgery that could have killed him. Parents, right? It's just like Will Smith said, parents just don't understand that their children fear their mortality. He had a surgery, he was at the Cleveland Clinic, which as you can tell by the name, Cleveland Clinic is this hospital in Cincinnati. And the thing I didn't like about the hospital is that they sold merch. Like, I got a hoodie from there that says Cleveland Clinic. It's like, what? You're not Six Flags. You're not selling shirts like, I survived the Cleveland Clinic. Take a picture as your emotions go downhill. Like, get a coffee cup to remember how Grandpa didn't make it. No, I would have forgotten him without this. You know, he's fine. It was a spine surgery, though. So after he had the surgery, I had to help him out because he didn't have a lot of mobility. I had to help him shower and go to the bathroom, which, by the way, after seeing my dad naked, I don't know how my mom does it. That guy's ugly as shit. Like, I wouldn't have sex with him, you know? He's got a terrible body. He's also my dad. Ugh. No. I like my dad, though. You know what I like about my dad is I'm 34, but he doesn't put pressure on me to get married or have kids. A lot of dads put that pressure to have kids. Be like, someone must carry on the family name. Like, if my dad said that to me, I'd be like, the Fernandez name? I think we're good. We're in 4th place behind the Johnsons, the Smiths, and the Lannisters. We got this covered, like. Which, by the way, the Fernandez is the main character on the HBO Latino show Juego de Thrones. If you didn't get it, you're uncultured. Learn another language. Trump's America. Starring Pablo Dinklage. Want me to translate that for you, too? He's 4 feet tall. Figure it out. Because I'm Cuban, I like baseball. I have to. Big baseball fan. I like going to ball games. The one thing I want to see when I go to a baseball game, more than a walk-off home run, more than a no-hitter, is someone proposing to their girlfriend on the diamond vision. Because nothing says I love you like cornering someone into it in front of 40,000 people. Like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could use a diamond vision to guilt people into saying yes to stuff. Like, now that I know that, next time I go to a ball game, I'm going to bring a buddy of mine, just like, Dave, if you look to the diamond vision, Joe would like to know, will you give him a ride to the airport this weekend? Everyone's like, come on, do it. Don't be an ice princess. You know. I'm going through a rough time. Weird thing to talk about while you're trying to be funny. But I just broke up with my girlfriend of 4.5 years. And here's the thing is that we live together, but we're both poor, so we can't move out. Since we broke up, we lived together for 6 months. That is 5 months and 29 days too long. Like, I don't know if anyone here has lived with an ex, but it's uncomfortable. Like, living with an ex is like constantly making eye contact with a dude jacking off on the train. Just like, look at you. Okay. Squeeze by. I'm on this train till May 1st of 2019, huh? Okay, that's going from 95th to Howard. It's not good. I have a little problem with authority. This happened to me and my buddies about 3 years and 14 months ago. We did a show out of town. We got pulled over by a cop, and he performed an illegal search and seizure on our car. There was no probable cause. He did not ask for permission. And it was extremely invasive, okay? So I've come with a plan to get back at a cop if he ever does that to me again. Because in my car, I'm going to keep a box of my poop. And the box will be made of my poop. And on the top of it, it's going to say, this is where I keep my heroin. So that way the cop has to search through my poop in my poop box. And he'll find nothing. And then he'll get upset, be like, oh, probable cause, that's where he keeps his heroin. That's when I'll put on a foreign accent and be like, where that come from? Heroin, miss poop. All right, JK from earlier, I would have sex with my dad. Thank you, have a good night.
Joe Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. So we are at our headliner this evening. But again, we want to make a big round of applause for Can TV for putting this show together, ladies and gentlemen. For all of our camera people and our directors and producers. So be sure to get some of the Can TV swag if you can. These delicious cups that are edible. So next time I see you all, I want to see you with broken and missing teeth. Because I'm lying. These aren't edible. And for the person that believed this, sir, no, it was jokes. These are jokes. It's LOL Chicago. All right, so your headliner tonight, coming to the stage, magnificent woman. You can see her at the Laugh Factory around Chicago. She is always performing all over North America. Ladies and gentlemen, jump out of your seats for Jeanie Doogan!
Keep it going for all the comedians you've seen tonight. That is. And yourself. This has been a fun show. And I have some exciting news to share. I recently got remarried. And thank you. I know. Some of you young girls are looking at me like, how did she get two guys to marry her? Write this down. Unplanned pregnancies and low expectations. There you go. Take that home with you. Anybody here on their second marriage want to clap? Let me know it's going to be okay. Okay, good. All right. The rest of these losers are on their first, right? So let me prepare you for what that's like. A second marriage is when you go into the refrigerator and the milk is sour, but you have to smell it again to make sure it's as bad as you thought it was. That's a second marriage. And in my case, it's particularly tough because I have kids and my husband doesn't know about them yet. So when they get home from their dad's house, boy, is he going to be surprised. when they get home from their dad's house sounds a lot better than when I regain custody. Kidding, I have custody. They're waiting outside in the car for me. My family was very upset when I told them I was getting divorced. I grew up Irish Catholic. Do we have Irish Catholics here tonight? Okay, we got one. So those of you that don't know what Irish Catholic is, that's the opposite of practicing Catholic. And my Aunt Margaret was particularly upset. She said, Jeanie, do you remember taking a vow, a little something called till death do us part? And I was like, oh, yeah, Aunt Margaret, I do. I remember that vow, except I thought that was something to look forward to or to plot. She said, you get that you will never be able to receive communion in the Catholic Church again. And I was like, oh, wow, that should have been a deal breaker. Well, I guess that means when I go to church with you on Christmas and Easter, I should eat breakfast before I go. That joke is for the Catholics we call the Christians, right? They only go to church on Christmas and Easter. But no judgment for me, because I'm a Wetterall Catholic. I only go to church for weddings and funerals. So I tried to get in shape for the wedding. This was not the shape I anticipated. And I've always had I've always been like a big kid even. Like I told you, I grew up the youngest, or Irish Catholic. That was the youngest of 8 kids in my family. 8 kids. Anybody else grow up in a big family? Irish, Mexicans, where you guys at? Right? 8 kids, and I had to wear my sister 9. You got me beat. Did you have to wear hand-me-downs?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now, were your older sisters also 2 sizes smaller than you? My older sister was 2 sizes smaller than me, and I still had to wear her hand-me-downs. That's Irish logic. One time, I finally had enough money to buy my own clothes, right? I was 16 years old before I knew that pants were supposed to button. I took my paycheck. I was in Zare dressing room. Remember Zare, right? I was like, excuse me, miss, can I get some help in here? Where's the rubber band that comes with these pants? There's always very skinny women that are like, what the f is she talking about? She lost me at pants not buttoning and rubber bands. Doesn't even make sense. Sometimes I just leave my pants buttoned and I pull them all the way up over my hips. I fight those women after the show. I get that I'm never going to be a size 4 teen again. I get that. I put on a lot of weight during the holidays. This year it was Columbus Day. It just pushed me over the edge. I'm really afraid of Arbor Day. Rosh Hashanah, oy vey. Can't take it. One of my friends tried to give me some good advice about losing weight. She's like, Jeanie, you should try my personal trainer, Tony. He'll whip you into shape. So I tried Tony because I had an extra $125 an hour laying around. $125 an hour. And this piece of human garbage handed me a jump rope. A jump rope. I'm like, $125 an hour. I'm expecting liposuction. Even if it's just on one leg, you know what I'm saying? I'll save up that other 125, drag my other big ass leg back when I got that money saved up. Like, Tony, why would you give me something I could commit suicide with right out of the box? I quit drinking to also get in better shape. I have been sober for 2 years now. That is, thank you. Kind of impressive, right? I started drinking again 6 months ago. I was like, I just don't think I identify as sober. I'm more bi-sober. My sponsor's like, that's a relapse. Get back to a meeting. I didn't have a very terrible rock bottom. I didn't get a DUI or anything like that. What happened is one night I got drunk, and I'm not proud of this, not even a little bit. I threw a table at my husband. The next day he sat me down. He was like, Jeanie, listen, you got to stop working out. He said, that table was heavy. That was oak. That was an IKEA, you know? Whatever Tony's got you doing, don't take it easy. I went online to see, there's an online test you can take to see if you're an alcoholic. Do you know about this? All right, let me save you some time though. If you have to go online to take an online test to see if you're an alcoholic, well then, you should probably pour yourself a drink first. I got 3 questions onto this online test, and then I was like, I'm gonna shut this laptop and finish this tomorrow if I'm not too hungover, right? First question right off the bat said, have you ever gotten defensive about your drinking? And I was honest with myself. I thought about it a couple years ago. My kids came home from their dad's house. My son said to me, Mommy, why do you have 2 bottles of empty wine next to your bed? And I said, I don't know. Why aren't you reading at grade level? I got a little defensive. But in my defense, he was like, why do you have 2 bottles of empty wine next to your... The second question said, were your parents alcoholics? Now, I told you I grew up Irish Catholic, but, you know, my dad had 3 jobs, and he still got to them every day. Plus, the Irish, they have great sayings about drinking. They have great sayings about everything. Like at a party, somebody would say to him, Ed, do you want another beer? And he would say, well, a bird never flew on just one wing. Isn't that right? Like, that's poetry. Like, well, Dad, I did not know a bird had 16 wings. I did not know that. And you got to drive us home, asshole. The last question that I answered really got me. It said, have you ever blacked out as a result of drinking? Well, if you're online taking an online test, like, duh, yeah. But I've also sat on the toilet, and I've reached over my shoulder for the seatbelt. Just one of these, like... You know, just kind of like, it smells like an Uber pool in here. Done that. This woman in the back is looking at me like she's watching an intervention. I'm so sorry. It's only part jokes. I do always like to find out before I get out of a show. I like to find out if there's any teachers in the audience tonight. Oh, we did. And they raised their hand. It's the cutest thing. Give it up for the teacher. That's really fantastic. And I love to acknowledge teachers. I was a teacher for almost 20 years. And for 10 of those years, I taught during the day. And then I did this at night as an outlet. Otherwise, I would have put a bullet in my head. And the weird thing is, I would have had to use my own gun. If I would have waited, Trump would have gave me one, right? How silly would I have felt? Like, I could have wrote that off on my taxes? And I would get nervous up here because as a high school English teacher, I wasn't used to people listening to me when I talked to them. So I did. I enjoyed teaching. It was tough, but my last year, I'm going to tell you this story and get out of here. My last year teaching, I had a kid. Rolling papers fell out of his book bag right in front of me. And I know, I like this kid, but I was like, Carlos. Because he's got to be Mexican for the joke. You guys, it's rolling papers. Come on, come on. If this was a joke about meth, his name would be Brian. With a Y. And I said, Carlos, hey, are these your rolling papers? And he thought about it for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. And then he goes, Miss Doogan, I was actually going to take notes on those papers. I thought, I cannot get this kid in trouble. No child left behind, right? Especially the potheads, because every high school teacher will tell you, potheads, best kids to have in class. Seriously. No, seriously, best kids to have in class, because they would just sit there real chill. Like, real quiet. They never bothered anybody. Sometimes to mess with them, you know what I would do? I would go up to them in class when they were stoned, and I would say, hey, did you just say that out loud? I'd be like, that was so much fun. It was like teaching goldfish. People never believe me that I used to be a teacher. I always get that question after shows like, hey, were you really a teacher? Why would I make that up? Where's the glamour? And that like, okay, I get that I look like a lesbian detective. I get that. Guys, I'm Jeanie Doogan. Thank you so much.
One more big round of applause for Jeanie Doogan. Hey, keep it going for all the comedians you've seen this evening. We'd like to thank you guys for coming out. This has been Can TV's LOL Chicago. I've been your host, Marz Timms. Hey, stick around. The comics love taking pictures with people after the show. You've all been fabulous. Thank you. Good night.